Hello, my name is Paul Dasvetlicic, and today I will present you dual stage regulator for CO2 cartridges. It is made by cooperation with companies Sparklabs, DevLabs, and Redictive. And let's get started. Let's open the package first. So there is everything is in foam inside to protect it from problematic transport issues. Um, let's check what's inside the box. Right here we have gas channel. This is part. It is made by 3D printing. It is very high quality 3D print with some quite good technology, and material properties are very good. uh, Purpose of this part is to channel the gas from output of the regulator to the input of pneumatic hose, which goes into the pneumatic engine. Next, here we have a castle nut. This is a castle nut for buffer tube retention. Right here we have some pneumatic tubes, and this is extension for the cartridge cap for some longer stocks. This is only included in this version. And right here it's the main unit. It's the buffer tube with regulator inside. So let's talk about properties and advantages of our product. The main advantages are the repeatability and consistency of pressure over the whole CO2 cartridge range, whether it is full or nearly empty. This is achieved because we use dual stage. This basically means there are two regulators inside connected in series, and this is how we are able to achieve such good results. The other advantage is thermal stability. As you know, the gas properties change over with temperature, and the temperature changes when the cartridges are emptied. So we have very good this thermal stability, and it will keep your shots constant. Um, the next advantages are you need you need low gearbox and receiver modifications. The modifications to make are really simple. The two things you need to do: the the first thing, you need to make some groove in the gearbox in order to channel the pneumatic tube from the engine to the back of uh, the lower receiver. And the other thing you need to do is to cut the extension which holds the original buffer tubes. You need to cut it and to trim it on a specific length, um, and that's it. The installation process of how to do that will be described in some other video. The next advantage is assembly. Assembly of this CO2 regulator is quite simple. The other next one is disassembly. It is also so simple. The next advantage is wide pressure adjustment range, which is for up to 12 bars. The next advantage is discovered by accident. It is kind of tournament lock, so I'm gonna simply explain it how to do it. The we basically need to rotate the adjustment screw in order to prevent user to be able to quickly adjust the pressure during the game. What we do is basically unscrew the castle nut, and then we unscrew the retaining screw using Allen key, and then we just twist the regulator, and that's it. We screw it back, we tighten the castle nut, and that's it. The user will have a hard time adjusting the pressure to a correct level during the gameplay. The next thing is you can use external adapter, which is meant to be used for other platforms other than M4 platforms. Uh, you can mount the regulator without the buffer tube somewhere else on the stock or rail system using some 3D printed adapters, or even the scope holders. You use this one. This is the external adapter. It is basically the same thing as this gas channel. The difference is it is more compact, and the most important, it is reliable. So it is meant to be used as external adapter. That's why it has different pneumatic fitting, which will make the reliable connection with pneumatic tube. The next advantage is the leakage. So we tightly control the leakage. Actually, we make a lot of quality checks. We measure every regulator under the water bubble test to determine if there is a leakage inside the regulator, and our product will not leak. Otherwise, you are entitled to the reclamation. I don't know, is it reclamation? Warranty. You are entitled to warranty. So that's it about the CO2 regulator. The next advantage has nothing to do with CO2 regulator, but it has to do with our product. It is advantage of our other product. If you see the Raven system or Wolf system, this one here is only prototype one. You will be able to get up to 390 shots at 1 joule and up to 300 shots at 1.5 joules and up to 226 shots at 1.9 joules. These are tests made by optimal parameters of engine, and they were made using 0.2 gram BBs with a stock barrel, 6.08 diameter and 360 millimeter long. So these are all our advantages. Hope you like them, and up to the next video. So now we'll continue with explanation of how this regulator works. So let's take it out. We remove the regulator by unscrewing the retaining screw like this. So yeah, let's start from the back to the front, and let's start with the cartridge cap. This is cartridge cap. It is used to screw in and unscrew the cartridge. It uses a double thread in order to make screwing faster. Inside the cartridge cap you have some 3D printed spacer which is meant to shorten the stroke required to screw. And if you have some problems that the regulator won't catch onto, sorry, the cartridge cap won't catch onto the housing, you can remove it and try it then. So inside here we have a puncture pin with a seal around it. You can see it in the middle. And yeah, that's it about puncture pin housing. It is this puncture pin is pneumatically actuated. When you penetrate the cartridge, gas gets inside, and then the puncture pin moves backwards to make reliable sealing with the cartridge and to make the puncture finally penetrate the cartridge. Right here we have inside here is the first stage. The purpose of the first stage is to prevent liquid CO2 to getting into the second stage, because the CO2 will have to liquefy before coming over the first stage. Pressure after first stage is only a little bit higher than the maximum pressure at the second stage. The next purpose is rough pressure regulation and consistency. So we have rough regulation then consistency over the whole cartridge pressure from the full to nearly empty. And the next purpose is that this first stage regulator stabilizes the pressure for the next upcoming shot. So you have the input pressure to the second stage is already prepared at the correct level, and then the whole thing cycles repeatedly. The second stage. The second stage purpose is fine pressure regulation, because you have already regulated the pressure on the first stage, but it's rough, and the fine pressure regulation is made on second stage, which is much more finer, and the next thing is it will give you the consistency, much better consistency over the whole cartridge range. The purpose of the second stage is also the fast response time, so you will be able to make, I don't know, up to 30 to 40 rounds per second without a problem. Then next thing is thermal stability. The second stage defines thermal stability, and because we have them, basically we have the separated, not really separated in the sense of thermal, but the most cool down happens on the first stage, and there is really low cool down happens in the second stage. The next thing is adjustability, which is one of the main key points of the second stage. You can adjust it using this adjustment screw, as I mentioned before, from 4 to 12 bars. Meanwhile, the first stage isn't adjustable, because this what makes product more complex and more expensive, and it's not really needed. And yeah, so this is it. This is the explanation of how our regulator works. So thank you for listening, and bye.